Yeah, those prices are good for today only. There's a lot of flexibility here. We can work something out if.
Twitch isn't working. Twitch can piss over. I'm so sick of resetting all these chats every single time. Twitch isn't working. Twitch can piss over. Twitch isn't working. I'm so sick of resetting all these chats every single time. Twitch isn't working. Just testing Twitch, and then we should be good to go. Just testing Twitch, and then we should be good to go. Yep, I'm getting everything ready, and I'm downstairs. Just testing Twitch, and then I want to make 50 trips up and back. Yep, all right, good. I'm getting everything ready, and I'm downstairs. Yep, I'm getting everything ready, and I'm downstairs. 50 trips up and back. All right, I want to make 50 trips up and back. All right, I'm getting everything ready, and I'm downstairs. Yep, I'm getting everything ready, and I'm downstairs. Alright, that's working. That's working. If it's not, it's not. It's not off. Alright. Alright, there we go. Alright. Grab my stuff. Get up there. And we go. Grab my stuff. Get up there. Grab my stuff. Get up there. And we go. Grab my stuff. Get up there. And we go. Tinfoil. Grab my stuff. Get up there. And we go. Tinfoil. Grab my stuff. Get up there.
working for me on the headphones. Okay. Good God. Oh. Yep, and hopefully it's not going to catch up the sound from the heating system anymore. And one of these sprung out. Good. Glad that did that now, so I can find the errors. Oh, I can't believe that. God, that was annoying. Yeah. Well, I'm turning 40 this week, so not too far off. That was just extremely aggravating. And the way the software has been, it's been doing that a lot. I've modified some aspects in the settings, so I sincerely hope that'll be the last time I have to get some extemporaneous evening exercise. Yeah. Whew. I mean, I need all the exercise I can get, but I like to be my choice. All right. We're going to get a couple of these ribs glued in. Then we're going to bend them. Then we're going to start machining this creep up. This one's in pretty good shape. Wah! Thank you. You know, I had OBS, Dyson, for a while. And right now I'm using, what is it, XSplit. They had a sale a while ago where you could get lifetime XSplit for fairly cheap. It was nice, and that's angled oddly. I must have locked that in. Yep. Hey, Skibbs. How's it going? Whew, thanks, Ross. There we go. Yeah, and XSplit was nice because it let me go to Facebook where OBS didn't. And Mixer was just... Mixer's for the people who stream games all the time. They've got a good system. I just don't stream that much, and it's not worth the large price tag that comes on it for me. All right, I need to not worry about these ribs so much. So if I try to get them all perfect, they'll be fine. And as we all know, as an artist looking back on it, it's never going to be exactly the way you wanted it. Whew. I don't know, it's only my second time up here. Hey, Anna Cricket. I haven't had a good chance to be able to screw around with my crafts in quite a bit. Honestly, it's because, for one, I just haven't been bitten by the bug lately. And I've been lazing about playing Stellaris and other stuff, watching too much YouTube, and all that fancy stuff. Alright, we're going to let that cool. And while that's cooling, hopefully that one offset it. We got to give this thing a wrap. I'm thinking we're going to mache from... Alright, if he's leaning forward in the graveyard, that'll be fine. Truth be told, I can ram him into the ground to whatever height I find good. Yeah, I got a new house, Anna Cricket. So we are all there. Yeah, that happens, Gibbs. Absolutely. Sometimes you just get the bug, go nuts for a while, and then calm it down. Usually I get my Halloween crafting bug sometime in June, July. And I get 3 months of blitz, but we're off this week from school, so I really wanted to get some crafting. I haven't been up here to do anything. Part of the whole thing for the house was I'm gonna have a craft room of awesome and all that, but you know, if you don't use it, that was the point in getting the house. Sorry. So we're gonna use it, damn it. That's getting better. I'm hoping that as these guys get macheted in place, then they will be a little bit more rooted and locked in. Whew. Yeah, summer definitely does it. Thanks, Anchor. Good stuff. All right. Let's see here. Now, the only thing I'm not sure of with this setup is I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna get foil on these. Well, let's find out. Let's find out what's what. I don't know if I want to get foil on these ribs to bulk them up some more, or just tape them and mache them. I have a distinct impression they may not need any additional bulking, but it's possible that the foil may enable me to shape them a little bit more. Meow. See, I wish I had a kind of a monthly schedule. I can't craft if I'm not in the mood, because it becomes a chore and it needs to be a joy. Huh. Alright, I don't know. Well, there's one way to find out. We're going to do a wrapped rib, and we're going to do a unwrapped rib. We're going to see if there's any appreciable difference. And if there's a good difference and I like it, then we'll do it. And if not, then we won't. Whew. I got a thing of plaster wraps back on my setup there that I haven't touched. Alright, I need to scooch myself further up. I think I can turn the hot glue gun off, but that means the instant I do that, I'm going to need the hot glue gun, so I'm going to keep it hot. Alright, and I'm going to need some paper strips and a crap paintbrush. Alright, paper strips. I knew I got too much. Paper strips. There's something else in here. Oh, drill bits and a pin drill. Wow. Finding things. Yay! Okay, crap paintbrush. Here we go. Makes marks on other things drawer. I like this one because it's small. Screwing up a tolerably good brush. All right. All right. Everything that needs to not get splattered with sauce needs to be moved out of the sauce zone. Strips. Oil. Rock tumbling project. Oh, things for the. Huh, I may need that too. So much space that I never would have been able to make at the other apartment. All right. And some Naluka Babuni. Thank you, Dad. Whoop. It's all right. Floor in here is supposed to get messy. A skeleton groundbreaker, breaker, Rachel. That's what we're up to. Oh, it's so good. Mmm. Oh, thank you, God. Okay. Sauce. Let's experiment with ribs first. Strips. Let me know if you want the angle changed at any point too, because I can try to do that. You guys are on a tripod over here, and it can probably be scooched around a bit. I'm a little worried about this table getting bumped a little bit, because when that happens, your view will probably jiggle. And I don't want anybody jiggling unless it's by choice. Mess in the new craft room. I love it. I should have taped that. Okay. Oh well. Let's also be a little proactive here. At length, there will probably be a tutorial about this, but we've got to screw up a regular one first. And that is not adhering very tight. All right, maybe a little squish will get it down. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not really adhering tightly. I'm a little concerned on how it'll wrap around these corners. Let's use some smaller pieces and pre-goop them. In a way, this is not unlike doing a stem. I sold several. The tape is up here, or I should say down here. I should have put some on the center chest line, but I'm not too worried about it. And the drink is Naluka Babune, which is my favorite thing to say when I'm getting plastered. Here we go. It is known as a dessert fruit wine. Yep. La. Honestly, I've never screwed around with this before, Trigo, so this is the let us try many ways and see which way we like it best. I am concerned about bulk, shape, and ease. And if putting the masking tape around it doesn't buy me any significant use, then I don't see a reason to do it. So we're going to try it with all variables. We're going to try foil with paper. We're going to try foil and masking tape. We're going to try straight on the wire. We're going to try everything, because I have never farted around with a groundbreaker before, and I want to find my method and only fart around with it once. Good to see you too again, Lisa Rose. And hello, Candace. I have the time. It's break. I am gonna screw about and have a ball. issues here. I don't really like the wobble on the ribs at the moment, but again, we are going to experiment, and there's nothing here that is so affixed that it can't be rehashed with relative ease, quite frankly. Nothing here is so attached that it can't be modulated. I am going to throw a little bit of masking on that center spine region. Hey, Bohemian, how you doing? I've been all right, actually. It's just been just kind of slogging through the year. Been doing the pig dissection in class and just getting stuff done. Kind of want to just get craftimacaciously. You know, I like how that kind of stabilizes the ribs a bit. All right, well, remember that. All right, we got one last little bit on there. And truth be told, the other thing I'm noticing right now is that this is very, the ribs and the paper that are going on them are going to be very much not their final form, because there's going to be cross links in there. We're going to have to get some stringy, ropey, fleshy stuff in there. There's going to be a lot more to it than what's there. Alright, there's that. Oh, it's going to be fantastic when it's done. Absolutely. I'm just making use of some vacation time, Rachel. Don't feel too bad. Alright, this next one we are definitely going to insulate with tape, just because I don't want any extra wet from the mache to get onto what is already going to be bare wire. Rust will happen no matter what, but I don't want to hyper encourage rust. So let's just throw a protective layer around it. Yeah, the only thing I know for Halloween wise is that this year it does not rain like a sieve like it did this last year. It was bad. We pulled through and made it work, but would not like to do that every single year. Thank you. Yep, teacher to the max. Non-stop teachimication. Biology and Regents passing for the students, the schools, try to get rid of. Throw some tape on the center line sternum as well. I wonder if I'm going to paperclip this thing at all. I think we're going to have to in a few spots. Depends on how hyper realistic I want to make it. Alright, let's try it with squat 4. Always teaching. Teaching, experimenting, screwing around, trying things, not being bored. Keeping it amusing. Not noticing a huge difference. There's definitely a minor difference with the foil. It's obviously bulkier, but meh. I don't know if I want to throw paper clay. If I throw paper clay around this thing, then it will be a lot more solid of a form. That's to be sure. I also don't like how this is cocked. The sternum is cocked about maybe 6 degrees, 7 degrees out to the left of the bottom. Nobody's going to notice it but me. It's fine. I'm not not doing perfectionist on a experimental piece. I did not screw around with the ship too much. Honestly, that was just the first bit. I didn't work on it beyond that. I figured I wanted to get back to Halloween crafting ASAP, and then the ship could come whenever, because the ship is its own little kit. It's always ready to go anytime I feel like it. I still love how its hull turned out. That's sitting behind me. You know, we could use cotton. The thing that cotton will give us on the ribs is it'll give us a lot more of that woody texture, and I don't know if I want the ribs to be all wood. I want probably to run some strands around so I get bone-like protuberance mixed with wood-like stuff. So I have a contrast of flavors, if you will. But you definitely probably could run cotton right around. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll screw around with it. Why not? This is a super experimental groundbreaker. Maybe it'll be less annoying than the paper, because it's not hard, but it's not fun. So that's foil. More that I worry about the thing that I think with cotton, you won't get an even coat along the whole length. It just won't happen. Oh yeah, it's the same name at gmail.com, Ancient Tree Ghost. Feel free to send anything you would like to show off. Absolutely. Just looking at paper clay possibilities. Yay. Because paper clay will give us a lot more structural strength. And I'll do sculpting on the spine with it as well. We should actually consider that for the spine. Do some vertebral wraps. Okay, all right. I'm thinking. lock these ribs into a final contiguous shape, and they'll stay that way. I don't want it to be big ribs either. There's another guy I know who does some really big ribs on his pumpkin sentinels, and they look good. They're just not the way I want to do it. All right, what are we doing? We're gonna do tape and paper and then clay. That's the way to fly. All right, now I know. I have to go get myself some more of that R12 insulation for clay. It's another factor to consider too, is that if these guys ever get whamped or banged, the clay will crack. But it shouldn't be a tough fix. Pardon. All right. Thanks, Lydia. It's good to have us back up on the stream again. Even though it did take 5 trips up and down the stairs to get the settings right. Alright. I think that the way I set the settings, it should be correct forever after. I hope. I had to tell it never to play on. Well, boring settings stuff. If I never have to mess with settings and never have to re-log into all the chats, I will be a happy little streamer. Oh. Let's experiment with another thing too. Rather than wrap across, can we wrap around and make it easier on ourselves? All right, that might work. If we can wrap around with tape, can we wrap around with strips? Let's find out. Can we wrap around? All right, well, I think it's possible. It's not comfy, but it's possible. Nope, it's really more of a pain in the ass. but it is tighter. Alright, it's more of a pain in the butt, but it is tighter. I'll take that. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love it. Yeah, that's very ready to receive clay. I like that aspect a lot. Love to have some tunes going, but every single time I do that, I have to fight back on 500,000 copyright blasts from YouTube. That'll work well. All right. Hey, Gift Boutique, how we doing? secondary wrap at some point there. Yeah, good to be back. Mucking about with some stuffy stuff. Yeah, the spiral wrap is vastly preferable. The stuff I did earlier on that foil that's just horizontal wrap is trying to peel off. All right, good. Now we know. Spiral wrap is where it's at. Awesome. All right. Well, since we know it's good, let's do the hell out of it. I should start layering a pumpkin for fun later. Haven't just done a fun pumpkin for ages. Alright, the spiral's only a pain when you start it. Once you get it, it's not that bad at all. As with most things in life, the first time is a trifle annoying, the rest is pretty easy. You need a lot more surface adhesion. Nice. decide what we're going to put this thing on. We got mounted on a pumpkin. We're going to do a skull. I probably ought to grab a skull. Hi, Madge. Hi, kitty cat. Didn't even see you down there. Glad you're hanging out with me. Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, we are doing a little bit of... It's not spring break, it's midwinter break. At the school, we're doing some midwinter break crafting. There's no way I'm going to have this thing sitting out in this room, not getting done, till October. That's just not cool. I think we'll just throw a standard skeleton chest unit in there. No need to get fancy. All right. Yep. On for good old 2020. Back in the saddle. For some new paper mache shenanigans. I really want to do more stone carving. I was having so much fun with that. Maybe one of these days I'll haul the rig outside. We'll do some lapidary. I have wanted to screw around with 3D printing for flip all ever, but I don't own one, and the cheapskates at school will not get me one for my classroom, despite the fact that we have a ton of general science classes that could benefit from it. Huge. Suffice to say, I have not been able to muck about 3D printing at all, even though I have absolutely, very, 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 very much wanted to. .3D printers are excellent, excellent inventions. Oh, box. That's all right. Once this is all clayed up, it won't matter if any of these ribs are slightly off. Because the clay will hold them in place. Yeah. I think for 3D printing, it's a matter of what could I do with it. I would need some time to sit down, have a good think. If you guys have ever seen, there is an artist by the name of Gary Fay who makes some incredible articulated fingers for costumes. And although I would never kind of try to replicate his design because he's selling them, I would definitely buy a pair and, I don't know, maybe try to make some fittings for one with it, because they're amazing. They're all 3D printed. He runs his whole business with many 3D printers, and God, the man has made some genius devices as far as those goes. My hat is forever off to him whenever I see him. Honestly, I think the best thing I could do with 3D printing would probably be making housings for electronics. That would be very, very good. You definitely could do that, Tree Ghost. I know there's probably a few companies, because back when I did medieval reenactment, you could buy the lamellar plates for many historical armors, just as was, and they really were not that expensive, especially if you were the one tying them together. And you sit down with some cord of your choice and rope them all up. It's really not a tough prospect. That sounds good, Taylor. I'd like to learn how to do it myself, though, to be honest with you. That's the brass ring there. Because I want to bring it to my classroom and do it with my students. That way I can introduce them to it and learn myself. If I had to be perfectly blunt, that's about how I've learned to do a ton of the things that I have learned over the last several years. Usually a student says, hey, can we do this? And then I research it and I find out just how easy it is to make half the darn things in the world. I think the latest one I did was Native American flutes out of PVC pipe. That turned out to be pretty ridiculously easy to do. At some point this year, my class will do that. We'll have a little discussion about sound, how things make sound, how and why sound sounds like it sounds. And then we'll make some flutes. And then I'll experiment with haunted noisemakers with it. I have a sneaking suspicion that if I hooked a couple of those proto flute pitch pipes to some sort of computer fan, put that on a power supply with a dimmer, I could make a little haunted moon chime sounder that I could hide underneath the candy table. And that could be fun. A few more here. I teach 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and anybody who hasn't passed an 11th grade credit science. We are what is known as alternative education. If you can't pass a regular school, they send you to us. So my specialty is biology. My academic specialty is biology, which was the first passion. Cells and their dynamics. Oh, I hear a meow. Don't really know why I'm going nuts with the tape right now. It just strikes me that anything I throw on here will stick a hell of a lot better to masking tape than it will to PVC. clay on this may be tricky at some point. Alright, back to sleep. Nope. Actually, no, I can do that. This is PVC plastic, though the rib sections are a metal wire. So the metal's the only thing that's rigid enough to really hold the rib shape, and PVC is nice and super duper cheap for doing the main structural form. Nice, easy, simple, cheap, quick. The more times I do this spiral wrapping, the easier it gets. I may throw a layer of spiral around that bottom experimental foam layer. It's the only way to go. Yeah. Now, doing it all out of metal definitely would be almost too heavy. It'd be a super pain in the butt. I was gonna say, how you doing, Marcus? I haven't seen you in a while. I popped in on the Discord channel a few times. Just haven't seen you there. I figure you were just doing your own thing. How are things across the pond? I haven't heard from my buddy Rob in a while. I know the Conservatives just won a big election slide in, and Brexit's gone through. Oop. Little rip. Hit that with some paste. Ah, sorry to hear, man. Yeah, I see you've been posting pictures from Elite Dangerous. Stationeers never quite took all the way off. I know that Warframe's got their railjack stuff up and going. Just honestly haven't wanted to get on there and find that I have to spend 2.5 hours doing some thing to unlock the thing, to unlock the thing, to have the same fun that everybody else is having. Yeah, I hear you there. Let them polish that thing up a little bit. Yeah, I haven't been on to Warframe in quite a while. I've been playing Stellaris like crazy. Been in the mood for 4X and big space battles. Fleet level engagements. Yeah, that is much easier than the first time I did it. Damn. Yep, spiral wrap. Way to fly. Simple, easy, zip zap boom. Yeah, 4X is the Explore, Expand, Exploit, Exterminate big galaxy sim. There's several that are pretty good right now. There's Endless Space 2, but I kind of like the versatility that exists in Stellaris. Endless Space, you seem to have to pick from their archetypes a little bit more. an endless base. Even though a lot of their architecture DLC, it's more of a, you have a bigger carte blanche to do with what you want. I did my experimental human empire that fell right apart because I didn't understand the dynamics of the game, and now I am playing a exterminate all organic life machine empire, which is just absolutely dominating the everything, and it's wonderful. And you can mod it. The spiral wrap also pulls the tape in very nicely. Much more uniform and contiguous. I really like that. Alright, that other side, then we'll tape that up and then we'll do the back. Also been playing Hunter Call the Wild, and that is that's my game for beating what is it, the seasonal affective disorder. Just gorgeous scenery. You're walking around hunting. It's like I don't want to be in the middle of winter. I want to be walking around the glorious open fields of Spain. It's no longer winter out. Yes. I'm going to walk around the African savannah. Great way of beating the heat. And you get to hunt without actually killing any animals, which is another thing I kind of like. I like the idea of hunting, but over the years I have become a little bit much of a softie. I don't like killing things. I figure, what part of the UK were you in? I remember in southeast there was never any snow. Don't. I seem to remember though you mentioned more northwest UK though. Oxford. Okay, so you weren't southeast. You were more Middle East. Middle East Central. That area. That reminds me, I haven't heard from Lily in quite a long time. Wonder how she's doing. My one student who graduated the school and actually went to Oxford. Yay! Did very well for herself. Except that she went into law. Well, I can definitely understand the no snow though. I think in the 2 years I was there, it snowed twice. And I was in Essex. I'm gonna have to whip up some paperclip pretty soon. Guess this means I'm going to the hardware store tomorrow. Another bale of I see you, ancient tree ghost. I see you. So you are there. Alright, that smell from the glue gun is getting bluish and gunny. There we go. I see you, tree ghost. Alright, spiraling in there is going to be a pain. I should just link that right to the top. Maybe. We'll see. I'm not gonna. Huh. Well, as far as I see, Tree Ghost, you're the only one who's talking right now, so. I don't think it's because other people are talking and you can't see them. I think they're all just a little quiet at the moment. Alright, yep. Here's Danielle confirming. She got you. Alright, these guys. So the next thing we gotta look at is how are these arms gonna be situated. One's gonna be down, one's gonna be up. Right hand should be up, left should be down. I hear you there, Sergeant. It's good to have another thing going on during grading. Okay, I'm gonna go around the front, go around the back. That spiral's gonna be tough. Cool, yep, Joey's here as well. Awesome! Let's spiral this way because that's the way the tape is going. Come on now. Perfect. It's a pretty quick way to do some ribs, I tell ya. I actually don't have a Discord myself. The one I was talking about earlier was my gaming buddies Discord. I think if I ever set up a Discord, the problem is I really wouldn't monitor it. I wouldn't know how to manage it. It would just be an absolute fuster cluck, I believe would be the nice way of putting it. Let's break that off there. Discords are good if you got a big community that likes to chat. And you got somebody who's always going to be in touch, but you know me, I take off for a month at a time while I wait to get re-inspired. Discord is how all the cool kids chat with each other and keep a community going through a text and chat application called Discord. You effectively have a channel and people log on to it, join it. They can leave messages on it. They can do voice chat on it. Discord. It's a good program. But also, I'm not a for-profit YouTube channel or anything like that, so it doesn't really fit for me to have it with, big community management and all that good jazz. More juice. There we go. It's a very good program. A few of my students know about my YouTube channel, but since it's all Halloween crafting, it's not necessarily all their interest. I've had a few students show up from time to time and say hello. It occasionally occurs. All right, let's do some back ribs. Ooh, pardon. Usually I show them my YouTube channel at some point during the year if people are curious about things I do, or at least because I make the pumpkins with the 10th grade science class as a project, one of the first projects we do. And if I need to do supplemental instructions or I'm not there, I just give them my channel because they can look up all the directions on how to do it right there, and I'm still the one teaching. It's very handy in that regard. Or they ask, like, you make fireworks? Oh, yep, here, watch. You make pumpkins? Yep, here, watch. You have a YouTube channel? Ah. And apparently my subscriber count is high enough that the kids all, have their jaws drop and whatnot. I got 7,000 subscribers. Oh my, yeah, it's just, yeah. I don't really go for the count, but I agree, Marcus. Discord is awesome. Alright, spiraling from the underside is a little bit more tricky. I always see a big view count spike near Halloween, yes. And usually when I get an ad revenue paycheck, which is seldom and sparse, usually I get them at that time of year. Because that's when people access my channel to take a look at the videos and see what's new, if anything's new. And most of the rest of the year is just a little trickle. If I'm lucky, I might get a little check in August. But usually I get my check in September, and if it's a particularly amazing year, I'll get one in November too, and then that's it. And it's usually just $100. But it's enough to offset a few of the crafting expenses and let me, it's like a tip, Here, thank you. Boing. Here's your nugget. Yes, I agree, Brian. Discord is amazing for online gaming. That's what we probably are used to use it for. Or I shouldn't say used to, I still use it for that. Beats out the old TeamSpeak and Ventrilo by far. The heady precursors to Discord. Yep, it's a good way to make it a community. But like I said, for my stuff, I don't really keep up with it enough. Wouldn't be useful, or wouldn't be used to its full potential for stuff like me. Standard YouTube, Facebook, and whatnot is fine. Alright, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 more ribs to wrap. Getting all the grit on me here. Then we'll wrap up the spine. We'll wrap up the collar. And we'll see what we're doing from there. One of two things. I'm either going to cap this guy with a skull, or I'm going to cap this guy with a pumpkin. If I'm capping him with a pumpkin, I might start the pumpkin tonight. If I'm capping him with a skull, then I'll take a look at the skull, check the sizing. Because if the skull's too small for this thing, then we're definitely using a pumpkin. I should use a pumpkin anyway. See, these damn ribs are all flexy. I'd love to just fill this center pipe with hot glue. That way they wouldn't be able to flex at all. I may yet do something like that. Well, we can do that after we get them all wrapped. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, agreed. Wondering what kind of Halloween movies this year will bring to us. If they'll do anything good or keep trying to spam out Halloween 27, Michael Myers is back again. Oh, look, it's Freddy one more time. Let's fire up the hot glue gun. I may yet fill that thing. That's true. We got Ghostbusters coming back, and it's supposed to be, if I remember right, the original cast. We'll see if Hollywood can not screw that one up. Sadly, the excellent Mr. Harold Ramis is no longer around to do some writing on it. We'll have to hope they just say that other miserable Ghostbusters movie never happened. I should be spiraling the other way. Alright, it'll work. It'll work, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Halloween night, nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna care. As long as it looks good. It's gonna look great. It's gonna take a while. Now I know why that one guy does the large, bulky ribs. They're a lot easier to do than this shenanigans that I'm screwing with. Nothing's supposed to snap. Fortunately for a spiral wrap, it doesn't matter. Nyuk, 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 nyuk. I really, really like the spiral wrap. Oh. Hocus Pocus could be fun. I think the potential problem you'd run into is they try to grab the original actors, and it just wouldn't quite work, I don't think. I'd love to see Disney redo the Black Cauldron. That would be fun. Yeah, they probably would. I haven't watched Picard. Not necessarily because I think it'll be bad or anything. I just haven't personally been drawn to it. I was honestly a little too afraid they'd just screw it right up. Very, very afraid they'd gorp it. I've never used epoxy sculpt, Ryan. Be interested to try it. What's the expense level on it? Would be my main concern, because all these things are cheap as chips. Yeah, I know they were big into the synthetics with the Measure of a Man episode. We've got some heavy-duty Sculpey, but there's options. I couldn't bake this project because the PVC wouldn't last at those temperatures. Epoxy sculpt. We'll have to take a look at the price tag. The other thing I could be farting around with on this would be the spray foam in a can. Alright, what's going to be easier? That's going to be easier. That would give me instant bulk. Not a lot of structural capacity, but instant bulk to be sure. I remember that octopus chandelier. That thing was amazing. Don't know if I'm following you there, Ross. For me, it's always a craft fair because I'm just an instructor. I'm not a merchant. We'll have to look up epoxy sculpt. Reminds me of the stuff, or just the name at least, reminds me of the stuff we used to use in modeling. When you wanted to do some stuff for a 40K miniature, you'd mix the two compounds together, then they would harden. It would do really well. Problem is, for modeling, that was expensive. It wasn't cheap material. Maybe the cost's gone down. Maybe there's some brands that are a little bit more flexible. Have a good one, Marcus. Sleep well. Again, sorry to hear about your reason for the trip, but we'll catch you around. Hopefully chat with you on Discord at some point. Sleep well. Two-part. I figured it'd be a two-part epoxy. Yeah, because those are always a chemical reaction between the two components of the epoxy. It often works better when it's a little warmer, but yeah, there's never any baking required with that. You know, if it wasn't also devilishly expensive, I am wondering if you could take cotton and soak one part of it with one part of an epoxy resin and then the other with another. That would be really awesome, but again, the expense of it would be annoying. Okay, I'm with you, Ross. Okay, water to keep working. Gotcha. It's also making me think I've got that plastic that is, when you heat it in boiling water, it becomes pliable and meshable. I've got a fair amount of that stuff. Its startup cost, though, isn't very good. So, well, we'll see. I'll have to look at the price of the epoxy sculpt. See how it all falls in. Alright, well, the ribs are almost done. And then we'll tape everything that is dry. And then we'll paper whatever's dry. This next one's going to be a tight fit. Better double side this one. Yeah, the hardening in 5 minutes could be both a plus and a minus for a project like this. This is still not too bad with a spiral. Just gotta thread it a bit. Alright, let's wrap the other way. Oh, even better yet. Paper will tear off and then I can just rewrap a section. Nice. Ta-da! Okay, all ribs wrapped. Let's make this thing stop bouncing around. Let's throw a piece across the top. Okay, I want those ribs like that. The rest of these ribs, whatever. Let's do some backfilling. Thanks, Brian. The inspiration for this project is the many pumpkin sentinels that I have seen on the YouTubes and the Facebooks that look incredibly good and are absolutely terrifying and beautiful. And I figured if I could make my own pumpkin sentinels, that would be nice. And I just wanted to find a way to do it and wanted to experiment with ways to make them work. Let's grab another glue stick because I'm probably going to want to fill that some more. And maybe a glass of water. Oh, hey, Madge. Kit Kat, what's up? You didn't need to move. I saw you. You were fine. Alright, sticks things to other things. There we go. This one open? No, of course not. Alright, grab a glass of water, back in a sec. Yeah. Ooh, pardon. Excellent. Backfill that some more. Pardon. Most of the pumpkins are downstairs on a big shelf that's all racked up. I don't really have that many builds, to tell the truth. A lot of them are, I don't go making pumpkins throughout the entire year. I do kind of sit on a fixed supply. But now I do have a tolerably large basement, so I can store more. And so I shall. Hot glue gun right now because a lot of these ribs are not staying in the position I want them to. So I have capped this back end here, which is hard to see from the camera angle that I'm showing. I have capped this back end and I'm dumping hot glue down through the pipe. This here should be insulated from the inside. I think the other side is insulated. So my hope is the hot glue will get down and it will fix these ribs because they protrude into the center pipe, fix them in position. So when that cools, these ribs will be less likely to go up and down and flex all over the place like they have been. So that's why I'm dumping hot glue into this center pipe. I'm sure there's a better solution, but this is quick, easy. 2 pounds for 25 bucks. Each part is 2 pounds. So is that, that'll be a pound of each compound, I'm guessing then, Brian. You know, I haven't done a beach ball pumpkin tutorial. I probably should do that up. Just because it's such a simple, easy, stupid, cheap way to do it. And you don't have to worry about filling a form bag full of garbage. 2 pounds for 25. Probably wouldn't use more than a 1/4 pound on a project like this. Yeah, that could have some merit. I'll look into that stuff. Definitely look into it. I'm almost wondering if I use that, I would drill probably a larger hole for the rib, then take the wire for it, coat it with the epoxy, put the rib in there, and let the epoxy be the thing that actually holds it while it comes out and over the rib. Yeah, there's definitely ways to do that. Hey, Sam. What's up? You're on TV. Good boy. Hi. Careful, that's hot. Good boy. Yeah. It's gunk to make your paws all sticky. Good boy. Good boy, Fuzzy Bear. Let's see if we can dump a little bit more in here. Oh. Investigating cat. 4 pounds for 40. Careful. Good boy. Yeah, I may give that a shot, Brian. At the very least, get some, have it in stock, and then do my best to use it for anything that might need using. That's already solidified there. That's nice. I don't know if it's made it down there. I probably should have. There, it may have creeped into the T section. But these ribs are now much more secure. I can already feel that. That's nice. That's nice. Yes, that's nice. Damn, I love hot glue. Beautiful substance. Glug, 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 glug. Yep, my little mascot, Sam Hain the cat. You think it would stick to the metal all right, Brian? I don't know if I would use it on the outside of the ribs to coat it, just because that might be an expensive prospect. I wouldn't coat a groundbreaker skeleton with 40 bucks worth of material, or even 25 bucks worth of material, because paper's free. Masking tape cost me $1 for that whole roll, so it's tenuous on the expense. I agree. Definitely, I'm thinking it would be good to fix these roots in place, 100%. This is taking a little long, but I think it's worth it because I'm tired of these ribs rolling every which way. And it's going to give it a chance to dry so I can tape up the rest. And then we'll coat it with a layer. This means that tomorrow I gotta go to Walmart to get more. No, I've got more plaster. That's not a problem. Or what do they call it? The drywall joint compound. I got plenty of that. And I need to get more of the R13 insulation or R12, whatever R number it was. Insulation. I wonder if this thing's gonna fill that pipe. That could be really cool. I don't figure it down here, but I didn't honestly figure it would get all the way through the pipe. Figure that would be a good cheap solution to fix the ribs. And then we get to do the arms. And those are going to be interesting. And the hands, and those are going to be even more interesting. It's still flowing down. There we go. No, don't hold it. I lied. Alright, so what's next is tape, 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 tape. I should probably get out my contact cement for these guys because they're not any. Gonna want them to be fixed. Tubes at the end can rotate. Tubes at the center can't. And then we got to determine. I'm gonna grab a skull. Check the dimensions. Ugh. Skull, skull, skull. Make the skull. Skulls. A bunch of books up here too. Skulls. I don't know. Skull looks a little small for him. We may have to go pumpkin. Yeah, that stuff's almost stopped moving. Here's a beach ball. That might be too big a pumpkin head. Kind of wish, I think this is a 13-inch diameter. Kind of wish I had a 9. Whoop. Alright, well, let's just cap off the bottom end. I don't think that's gonna take much more hot glue. That way we'll be able to kibitz with stuff without fear. There we go. Alright. That definitely looks a little too small. Actually, that's not bad. I could do a skull on this guy if I wanted to. How about pumpkin? think the pumpkin will look better. That's the inner diameter. I wish I had something just a hair smaller. Yeah, I'm thinking pumpkin myself. I think this might be a little bit, but you know, it's how nobody's gonna care. I always forget about that. I always go from the I really think this will. Nobody's gonna give a rat's rear end. It's gonna be Halloween night. They're gonna come along. They're gonna go, oh wow, that's so cool, and then get their candy and leave. Yeah, it's definitely a misproportioned size for a skull. So I think pumpkin it is. Skull's too small. Way too small. Okay. There's that. Back in there. I could do plastic bag, but again, I don't think anybody's going to really care that much. The pumpkin is a bit big. You know, let's not do one pumpkin. I've got that little one downstairs that I made, which means that I've got those little mini balls around. Here we go. Let's make this guy a sea of evil, gourd faces. Let's go a little nuts. Because if we do one main head on the top, then maybe one down here, one on the shoulder, one down here, incorporate one or the other end of the arms, then we can go really viney and have an excuse to have a lot of fun with this prop. Let's do that. Let's go a little bit bananas here. Plus these small ones take like no time. Balloon could possibly work. I'll have to see if I got more of them around here. See how these little guys look. Bam. Bam. Derp. 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 Yep. This is going to work nicely. We may have to do them slightly differently though than normal, because they won't be guaranteed to be open bottom devices. We may have to make those tops and get creative with the stems. Yep. Lighten the way. Yeah, I agree. A balloon could be good. The only potential problem you have with a balloon is the oblong shape. Somewhere I bought some round balloons. I just don't know where in God's name they are. They're probably sitting in the craft basket behind me. All right, but we'll start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 5. Five mini pumpkins, 1 big head. And this guy's gonna be a absolute one being pumpkin patch. It's gonna be incredible. Unless, of course, I have an aneurysm from blowing up all these little things. Oh, I left this one open. Or it popped out. Okay. Alright. 5 in a main head. I think we can do this. Okay, let's get down started. I want to see if I have balloons. Cotton. The answer is yes. But I want to see if they're in the actual thing. Don't see them. Okay. So, you little bastard. Quit it. I'll just get another one. I ain't committed to you. You don't want to play nice. And we decide to go nuts. We're gonna have one-man band here. Personal pumpkin patch monster. And if everything goes well, I may be able to throw LEDs into them and get them fully wired. Pardon. Okay. All right. So we gotta contact cement the arms, not necessarily the shoulder joints, but these have got to be contacted. Let's grab some contact cement, get that going. May need some pliers. Hi Sam, welcome back. No, the contact cement is still over behind. Nope, that's my chair. That is mine. All the desk space, that is yours. Chair is mine. I shouldn't need to sand that. This isn't professional plumbing. Wow. Yeegoot. Meow. Meow. Yeegoot. You know, I've actually never had trouble with the balloons not holding. I think it would be a-okay. Thought I had some paper towels. I have these, but I use these. I do. They're in the bathroom. One sec. BRB. Paper towels, paper towels, paper towels. There's the balloons. Oh, I love my craft room. Everything's here. Yeah, I'm kind of stoked for summer myself. Nice vacation. There we go. Alright, now these are dollar store balloons, so heaven help us. Alright. Forgot you can't use fabric scissors on anything. Oh, it's already open. Alright, let's see if this works. Now these are supposed to be round balloons, right? Party balloons, helium quality, 10 count, large 12-inch round metallic. They are, however, several years old. Ain't bad. I don't think I need to deform the shoulder at all. There's going to be enough sidewards material in there that it won't really matter. That'd be a little bit more round. That's easy enough to do. You will go into the shape I want you to be in. Because I possess the sorcery of tape. There we go. More rounderer. Yeah, especially if I do that. That's a good pumpkin shape. All right. Meow! Yep. In the absence of a handy plastic bag, I figure this will be just as good. It'll hold the shape, it'll stop it from becoming too balloon shaped. And honestly, it's the only outer form anyway, so. Its only job is to sit there long enough to give some structural formation. As we all know, the detail comes from the paper clay. Close enough. Okay, we're gonna let you dry. There's no great place I can put this except there. Close enough. Okay. Hot glue gun. Let's unhot because I don't want you rolling into that and going boom. Not until I've had the chance to coat you with many pieces of stuff. Okay. Come here, you. This should go really fast. Maybe I should use a brush with softer bristles. Just occurred to me, this is an old brush. Its bristles are a little bristly. It would be very embarrassing if I did that and it went kablamo in my face. Oh, let's grab something with softer bristles. Come here. Yep, that'll do. Oh boy. Get comfy. Should have this thing coated in a few minutes. This is not gonna take long. Damn, I love paper mache. Agreed. Well, this was kind of spur of the moment too. Trying to find out what we wanted to put on the top of this groundbreaker, and the skull was just too small, so we figured a pumpkin would be best, but the beach ball pumpkin was just a bit too big, and I think it was Brian suggested a balloon, and I didn't think I had one, but then I found the bag of balloons. So we're gonna balloon it. Because this is the right size head for this guy. just want to get a 360 mache coat on it. I'm just kind of loving the way the new craft room is, that the balloons were right there. Everything was right there. Didn't take me searching for 20 minutes. It's all here in the room. And I love that. The only thing I want is some tunes. But YouTube. Go with some Dance with the Dead right now would be awesome. Hey, Ellen. Welcome to the channel. Yes, we are live. We're back because I'm on midwinter break this week from school. And there was no way I was going to have a week off this far into the year and no crafting. Just wasn't going to happen. Oh my god, I could really smell that contact cement, unfortunately. It's having a bigger effect on my lungs than I would have thought. I am becoming a sissy man. Not doing too bad. Some of the stuff sticking at the bottom. Yeah, if I just threw something down there, it'll still not hold because it's going to be a roly-poly balloon. We'll just have to compensate for it. No biggie. Fantastic, Ellen. Love it. Pumpkins are a great project. Nice, simple, easy, and oh so open to creativity. Crack the back. I honestly love seeing what people do with their pumpkins every single year. There are some folks I know who kind of copy my design, and there are some folks who have really branched out to make their own very beautiful stuff that I think looks better than my stuff, quite frankly. This is going to give me a... That'll be fine. That'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so there's a 360 on it. Nice. It's always good to have more pumpkins. I think I've got about 10 in the basement. I've got one that I promised somebody I would give to them years ago, and I'm holding on to it until I get it finished. Because last year it kind of fell, and, well, I'm not giving them a banged up product. get this one layered up. Sit here and dry all day. Either way, I'm very glad that some progress is getting made on this groundbreaker. It's been sitting idle now for almost a year. The last video I made on it was back at the old place. Nice. Do you use individual pumpkin-like sections to be the spider's body sections? I've seen people make some great spiders with this sort of technique. Back here. God, this reminds me of my... I can't remember what grade it was, but we were making a model of the solar system with paper mache planets. And God, it was an unsightly mess. I guess in the end they sort of looked like planets. Eating the glue is afterwards off camera. Everybody knows that. Oh man, that contact cement. Damn. I'm gonna move that that groundbreaker in another room. I am surprised at just how badly that's affecting me. It's not so much that it's bad, but it's annoying. I don't have to put up with it, so I'm not going to. Come here, you. You can go contact cement somewhere else. Hi, Madge. Alright, glass of water. Oh, there we go. Whew, how we doing, sir? Nice. 5 channel sessions. Made a paper tape, glue, and glue mix. Excellent. Glad it turned out so well. Fantastic. Whew. Alright, let me get closer here. Excellent. Alright, this is a little messy, but that's what the craft room is for. Awesome. And this will be the head of this will be one of the many heads of our pumpkin patch groundbreaker. Pardon, damn. Excellent. Yeah, definitely check out the channels of other folks who do cool stuff. I'll have to go back through the chat later on and go look at those. Always curious to see what people are doing. Alright, there's one coated balloon. That will be the base. Something like that will be the final head up in that position. But while the surface is still slick, I'm going to keep on layering. That way, because the balloons always lose air. That's always one of the biggest problems of using a balloon form. They never stay totally compact. So, the more layers you can put on at once, the better. And then tomorrow when I wake up, I'll roll it to the side because the bottom is going to stay wet. Unless I can find some sort of frame to put it on. Which I might do. We'll find out. But the inside will be smooth. That is one of the things I like best with this sort of project. Huh. Newspaper paper towels, huh? Alright, you rogue. I'll play your game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got some flavor of Solo Cup in here. The only possible problem with that is the cats may come in during the day and sniff, poke, and knock it over, but shouldn't really matter. The only thing I don't like about the paper towels is I see the bump indentations there, which I don't think that'll make a huge difference at all. But just seeing it makes my spider sense go off a little bit. Let me see if I got other stuff around. Hey, more paper towels. Somewhere I had a whole bunch of toilet paper. Somewhere. Meh. I'm gonna keep experimenting with the paper towel though. Let's try a new method. Whew. Have a good night, Brian. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. Alright, so that's coming up. Pardon. Alright, that's another potential problem is that sticky bit on the bottom. Since we're going kind of all hell-bent for leather on this thing. As it rolls across the bottom, the paper towel is going to get tacky and sticky on there. It might not be a bad idea to set a bottom and only work on opposite sides for now. I should have a bucket in the other room. I was looking for other handy bits that might assist. Let's go get a surface to make this one-sided for now. Oh, yeah, a bucket. craft room. Oh, hey, it's the thing I need. Might not be big enough, though. Not really. Other buckets I have will be that size. All right, well, screw it. Let's just work. Hell with it. All right. Well, we're gonna find out for me, because this is my first time doing paper towel and newspaper alternation. Oh my God, that contact cement. Dang. Definitely like the extent to which the paper towel flattens and molds right onto the surface, no matter what the angle. That's very nice. And I also like how it's kind of greedy for fluid too. Because being paper towel, it naturally soaks up the paste. Still pulling away though. Come here. Yeah, the blue towels will be incredibly resistant. Shop towels will soak up like nobody's business. You probably also do incredibly well if you had any kind of like cloth that you got from a thrift store type area. All right, I'm going to cover them with newspaper now. That way when I roll it over, they won't come up tacky on the opposite side. Look forward to see how well this comes out. Feels great. Feels absolutely splendiferous. Again, I love how much paste it's absorbing. Yeah, I got brown towels behind me, but the only roll I've got right now. So, gonna save it for the skin if I decide to skin it my usual style. How we doing, Amanda? Oh, I love how experimenty this has gone tonight. It's beautiful. Trying all sorts of new things. Yeah, I found just applying a single layer at a time kind of made it not too bad as far as that goes. But again, I really am adoring how much it's just soaking the fluid right up, as I've said like 3 times already. I'm almost back to the front section here, but yeah, anywhere where it gets underneath and it's stuck to the table, it was tacky and started to kind of deform a little bit there. But with the paper over it, that won't be an issue because the paper doesn't deform at all. I like brown towels though. If I'm going pure detail, there is that that mache clay that I think Jerry from Ultimate Paper Mache makes. That stuff is like friggin' modeling clay. It's incredible the amount of detail it holds. The only thing you gotta watch out for is, I think the last recipe I saw on hers called for linseed oil. And that means it takes for flip all ever to dry. Alright, that's not working out the way I hoped it would. Yeah. Rolling away, rolling away. Rolling back. Don't go away. Jay Olson does some beautiful stuff too. He's got some great methods. See, there's Jay. There's Jay Wall does great stuff. Oh, and I really want to correct my back because I've been stooped forward for a while. Oh, it's just not having it. Alright, gotta do that. Then we'll do the top section with towels. I think we'll throw 3 layers on this. Towels top and bottom. Then I might take myself a little break. We'll see how we feel. Just want to make sure this is set so that if the balloon loses air overnight, then next time I come back to it, the outer structure will be absolutely still 100% intact the way it was where it was. And that will only happen if I get enough wrapping on it. Yeah, I agree with that. The clay recipe that I use based off of Halloween, for big bulk, that's the one to go with. For fine detail, Joni's clay. 100%. You almost use the bulk clay as the undercoat and then the fine clay over the top for your cool details. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one comes out when we cut into it to make the face. I almost ate a spoonful there. Glad I took some aspirin earlier. Alright, let's get some sticks. A lot of those dragons are very beautiful. Absolutely agree. I'm glad I made a bunch of paste tonight. I didn't know how much I'd be getting through. If I would just be using the groundbreaker or if I would be kibitzing with other things too. Very glad I used the paintbrush application method though. This would take forever with the dip method. The only problem is it's not the fun phase of the mache. It's the layer it, layer it, layer it. Sit there and do it, sit there and do it phase. Fortunately, the tiny pumpkins are really quick. Probably going to have to do the top and bottom of this thing as well. Otherwise, because it's a balloon where the wrapping is tighter, as this dries, it's going to squinch in a little bit, and that means it's going to bulge out on the ends. And that's definitely not something I want to happen. So I'll have to coat it evenly. Unfortunately, I do not know the next time I'll be on. I would imagine, since I am having such a fun time right now, certainly probably again before the end of this week. But sadly, because it's a hobby for me and not an income source, I don't set my hours for it. But at least the streams are always on, so if somebody ever wants to, or misses one and wants to see it, or just flip through it, it'll be on YouTube and available. See, I'm not as big into this phase just because it is so methodical. You can certainly zen, and certainly that is a nice part of it. But I like the creativity phase that comes with the paper clay. I like making my face and making all the design choices that'll be part of the final beastie, as it were. And this part, for all that it is, calm, soothing, zen, no thought, no mind. It is just building the form. And this is going to be about, actually I may as well do the top section while I'm right here doing that. Oop. Yeah, that'll do. I'm going to try a little project here for my own little scientific edification in a moment. Because I'm really curious with the soak up potential of the sheet. What I want to do here is I want to take a paper towel sheet and a tolerably sized equivalent piece of newspaper. I want to saturate them both, leave them out individually, and then I want to see later on. I'll just hang them. Hang them from the light here. I want to see later on the relative stiffness of the materials, because I know the paper towel is going to absorb a hell of a lot more paste. I want to see if afterwards that paper towel is how it reflects in terms of stiffness to the newspaper that has soaked up less paste but is comprised of a far more dense band of carbohydrate molecules. How we doing, Colleen? Yeah, no kidding, Tree Ghost. There we go. Yeah, you may have to reset the screen or just refresh the page if it's being a pain. Splash this back on. There. Take care, Lynn. That's alright. If I tried typing right now, it'd be none the better. Let's get that covered. Blocka, blocka, blocka. And then we'll cover the bottom and then we'll take a break. Let this thing get like iron. Or we'll do it and then I'll see about maybe doing the small ones. We'll find out. And we'll check the comparison. Of course, to do a true scientific test, what I should have done is I should have done a sample of a newspaper towel, and then I should have done one that was like 4 newspaper, and then we could have compared the relative rigidities. I may still do that. We shall see. The towel definitely form fits better to the project on any kind of curve, and I would expect that. If I was using smaller strips of paper, I also wouldn't have the same fold over issues. And I can still do that actually. Smaller articulations. Of course, you cover a lot faster with larger strips. But I do like my project solids now, because obviously you get more overlap with many small strips. For a denser overall project. Yep, that's already form-fitting better. Pardon. Hey, Crafting for Introverts, how you doing? How is the weather in Australia? I understand the wildfires were recently extinguished. Or at least the bulk of the wildfires were recently extinguished. It's got a lot of layers. I love it. All right, we'll do the bottom, and then that thing will be very well solidified to do a sit and dry overnight. Cool. Alright, almost there. Well, I think that's a damn successful rapid coating of a balloon. There's at least 3 layers on all sides. As it dries and collapses down, this thing should not deform much in any one direction, which will work out extremely well. I do have some glow-in-the-dark powders. I've also got a really good UV reactive paint. See, I wouldn't throw it on right after the project because we're not even at the paper clay state, River Pirates. And paper clay is when this thing is going to go from looking like a ball to a nighttime demon of Halloween joy. We're going to really, really send this thing right up the terror levels when we get to paper clay. We're not there yet. Yeah, going to smaller strips was definitely the way to go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to throw this on top of one of these. We're going to let it sit and dry. And that shouldn't be too bad. Tomorrow morning when I get up, I will just rotate it to the side. And that's pretty static as it is. Now we need to do a quick for science. And here is our for science. Okay. For science. Paper. Paper towel. Heavy absorption. Paper. Paper towel. And paper. All right, 5 layers. All right, paper and towel sandwich. Set that up there. All right, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All paper. compare the potential rigidity factors next time. One of these days I definitely will do some sort of glow in the dark. I like to focus my glow effects on areas of spectral quality. So usually what I will do is if I have a rift in the pumpkin, then that's where the glow in the dark or the UV reactive look will go. That way the crack showing out between whatever opaque surface is the kind of roaring spiritual undercurrent barely contained by this flimsy outer shell of material. And that's generally how I like to do my glow effects, like that, rather than having just the whole thing glowing. But it's all valid effects. Every bit of it is absolutely valid effects. Well, I'm not tired enough, so let's at least get some stuff on these guys. Yeah, it's all in how you enjoy doing it. It's one of the things I love with any kind of art. There's no wrong way. Well, depending on your opinion. If your opinions are very, very solid, then there are wrong ways. But artists are more critical of themselves than anything else, I have found. The people who see the art are just happy. I find sometimes that the only ones that artistically annoy me in any way are the folks who wish they could. And go around, they talk to people, wow, how do you do that? Wow, I wish I could do that. I wish I could. Wow, I'd try, but I could never do that. I wish I could. If you want to, do it. If you don't want to, don't tell me you wish you could, because clearly you don't want to. I have done the paper stuff bag. What you tend to get out of the paper stuff bag is there's a couple problems with it, and there's a reason I don't really use it so much anymore. Problem number one is the shape that you get out of it is very irregular. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but for the current project, it's not anything that helps me because I want it to be well balanced on top of my thing. The other problem that the paper bag filled with gunk has is that the inside of it is 1,000 different rumply bumply mumps, and when you're trying to paint that, and most particularly for me, when you're trying to waterproof that, there's no guarantee that your varnish got into all the little cracks, crannies, and crevices. So I get very, very paranoid about that because the very structure of what I have built makes it almost impossible for me to properly waterproof. So that's why I have gone to more of the beach balls, the balloons, the regular shapes that leave me with a smooth inside, because I know that that will be smooth inside. When I paint the inside with waterproofing, there won't be a crack, cranny, or crevice that mold can get into and moisture can get into. Yeah, no kidding, I know. I know, wished you could. Yeah. The student who did that a lot with art, and when other people drew something that student liked, It was very, wow, I really like that. That's so cool. I wish I could draw like that. I wish I could do that. Then draw. Just draw. It doesn't matter if you're drawing it the way you want it to. Draw. Don't stop drawing. Well, I've tried. I've tried. Okay, but clearly you stopped. Classic problem with students of almost any persuasion in certain areas. Not all students have this issue, but many have the, if I can't do it perfectly the first time, then I suck at it and I can't do it and I won't try. Yep, balloon's not bad. Balloon was entirely a spur of the moment decision tonight because the large beach ball in the back there was a little bit too big. I wanted something a little bit smaller, and fortunately one of the viewers said, hey, use a balloon. And I didn't even think I had the balloon, but surprisingly I did, so we used it. So it worked out very well. And a balloon will always get you a regular shape after you surround it with tape. And if you're lucky enough to be able to go out and get some of the round balloons, then they'll always give you a nice pumpkin configuration. And if you can't get round balloons, get the other ones and tape them the way you want them. I remember when I used them for that witch orb. I was so lucky with that balloon. It held up the entire time. Yeah, balloons are a good universal round form, or roundish form for mache. Anytime, all the time. Wow, this thing's getting goopy. Well, that's about what I expected. Oh, more booze. Booze! Booze will help. Love it. Yep, that large beach ball is absolutely crinkly wrinkling on us. And I'm glad I didn't use it. I don't know if it's got a leak or something, but by now it would have started slumping and giving us an uneven pumpkin, which I could have worked with, but still, it's annoying. I can't wait for this project to have more parts. I can't wait to make it a whole pumpkin patch monster in and of itself. It's going to look amazing. Coming up from the ground. Being a whole bunch of pumpkin heads. I might even mount it in the garage, depending on how things go. We'll see. I've got 2 big animatronics for the garage. Though if we don't have rain this year, those animatronics will be out. The only reason we put them in the garage is we knew we could still display them and they wouldn't get showered. I've got to redo so many headstones. It's not funny. I don't know when I will have. About to say, I don't know when I'll have time for that, but the obvious conclusion leaps to mind. Do it during the summertime. When you have months of nothing to do. And these little guys don't need 6 layers either. That's another nice aspect about them. If you throw 3 layers on, that's more than enough for them to hold up. Now, seeing as that's the bottom, let's use some more of that paper towel trickery. This, at the very least, this may be a way to really just get a layer on fast. Possibly even a couple layers on fast. Yeah, last Halloween was a drenchy downpour dismalness, but for all that it was, we were very pleased that our rain plan worked excessively well, and we salvaged the best possible Halloween out of it that we could have. So for all that it was a loss, it was also a massive experiential gain. Massive, massive, massive experiential gain. We found out our plan, we found out what worked. We were able to utilize aspects that we weren't able to utilize before, like the garage. We did like no projecting though. That felt a little weird because normally I've always got the Atmos FX projectors up and rolling, and we had none of that last year. I think this next year I'm going to try to throw it up in the front porch so that I'm able to get my money's worth out of the projectors. Because I really like projecting. It gives you some beautiful effects. Very easily, simply. And gets you noticed. Definitely gets you noticed. Pardon. Everybody loves the house that has live ghosts. Right, small piece. And none of our pumpkins went out in that downpour because I was not going to take the chance that they would get drenched, sodden, and mold-ridden. Main thing that I was gonna say the main thing that'd be annoying with this one would be the stems, but I'll just use the sodden cotton for it. It'll look beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it'll be cheap. so tomorrow is another bale of insulation. Maybe I'll get some more joint compound anyway. Can never go wrong with having a great big bucket of that stuff. Yeah, having to work on that time is miserable. I always take that day off. And as I understand this, next year it's going to be on a Saturday, so that'll be easier. I'll still take Monday off so I can have a... Who knows, maybe I'll take Friday and Monday off. Because I remember the way it worked this year, it was like on a Thursday, and I took the Thursday and the Friday off. And we were able to have a really nice relax, chill, let everything dry, and put things away at our own pace. And that was extremely, extremely nice. Sounds good, Emily. We will catch you next time you're around. I think I'm going to finish up this little guy and take a break myself. I think we'll be able to call it a very productive evening. We got the ribs for the main guy done, or at least machined with a method that we like. I still have to tape it up a bit. I guess that one just dried. We got 3 layers on the big ball. We're going to have 3 layers on the little guy. We got the experiment going on with the paper towel crisscross layers, which will speed up the bulking process a lot. I might look into getting some of the blue or the blue shop towels as well. We'll price those out. They got to be at Lowe's, because I know that those guys are thick as hell. That will be very, very speedy. I got to see about getting a fan in here so I can hit the projects with it. Then again, the air's been dry as hell out here, so they may be alright just by themselves. Okay, there's that. Let's use this. Yeah, I should check Walmart as well. You're very right. There we go. Woo! Excellent. Get all the crusties off my hands. I can check those prices tonight online. In fact, I can check them all online. It'll be nice. What time we got? Oh, 12:22 a.m. Not bad at all. Not bad in the least. Especially considering I didn't wake up until stupid late today. Which means I'm not going to be very tired until stupid late in the morning. But I am about crafted out. I think I started around... I can't remember what time I started the stream. 10-ish? Thereabouts. Okay. Good stuff, everybody. Thank you very much for attending with me. I am in Central New York area, Sam. Central New York. I wish I was in New England. That would be nice. Yeah, several different spots, depending on who and where you've got, have got off this week. I'm very lucky this year that our districts have all pulled a midwinter break which I think we sorely needed. But it's been good times. Good stuff. All right, well, let's steer up there. Thank you all for attending with me and being here while we experimented, screwed about, and we'll have some results on how all these things fared and how the paper towel effect works. I'll try to get some blue paper towel for next time, see what's going on with that, and yeah, we'll have some more fun probably this week because this was a blast and I'm not done by a long shot. Have an excellent night, everybody. We'll see you around. Damn Skippy. Wash out. Let's get those two brushes. This one and this one. Take that down. Cover it with plastic. Throw it in the fridge. How's there, Brad? Brushes. Hi, Sam. Disable, disable, disable.